Okay, one more thing very quickly. Some of you are aware I'm also doing some writing at the moment, setting up a few articles. If you want to have a look at those articles, there'll be links in the information box to where they are. They're about love, spirituality, and all the rest of that kind of groovy stuff. Have a look at them one by one once you finish watching the tarot show, and then basically, more and more stuff will come clear to you, and you'll find out a bit more about some of the ways that Nick Dutch is coming from, or at least was coming from at the moment of writing the article. Hello there everybody! Guess who? That's right, it's Nick Dutch and I'm back on the camera again one more time for another delightful tarot reading show. That's right, on this YouTube channel, for those of you who don't already know, and there's a fair few people out there who do already know, I read tarot on this YouTube channel for your pleasure and your benefit, and you are the people who I am doing it for. And all you have to do to have your reading included in one of my subsequent or future tarot reading shows is quite simply send me a private message through on this YouTube channel, which is Nick Dutch Tarot, okay? So it's youtube.com/user/Nick Dutch Tarot. So all you have to do is send through a private message, not in the comment section, not a video response, and I'll be more than happy to add you to the rota. Not too long, not too short, just enough information plus your first name and your date of birth, and I'll be happy to get straight back onto the reading. Now you might be sitting there and thinking like, so what's the point, okay? What is the point in the tarot reading? Because I know I've got people out there who love me, but I also got people out there who hate me, and they think to themselves like, hey, this guy is just sitting there and all he's doing is making stuff up. Well, I'll tell you what I want to do, and this goes for all of you people out there, those of you who love me, those of you who hate me, all I want to do is to provide you with the service which a tarot reading is supposed to be, okay? Namely, the provision of an opportunity for you to see your life from another point of view. So if what you're doing is you're getting reflection from what I'm saying, you're seeing your problems being expressed within this particular reading and possible solutions, possible points of view and all the rest of that, and you're taking that on board and you're juggling a few ideas around, hey, that's great. And what if you're sitting there and you're saying like, I hate Nick Dutch, and I think Nick Dutch is a complete and utter silly billy, and I don't like anything he says, I don't like what he does, I don't like what he stands for, okay? Well, basically, as you spend your time looking at your life and looking at what I'm saying, alright, what's actually happening is you are still finding new ways of looking at your own life situation and your own life problems, alright? So essentially, either way, I'm still doing you some good. I am fulfilling the prerequisite of what a tarot reading is really about. The opportunity, that moment of contemplation, whether that's academic contemplation, whether that is contemplation any other way whatsoever. Sit down, relax, think, hey, chill out, introspect, understand, move forward. That's what life's about, that's what tarot is about. Tarot is my life, man. I'm doing this stuff kind of like all the time. Alright, as I'm sure you know by now, legally speaking, a tarot reading is billed as an entertainment service. Now, why would you think that is? Come on, think for a minute. We can have suggestions from the studio audience, okay? The reason it's billed as a entertainment service is because you still got to think for yourself, okay? You're still the one who's responsible for your life. You make the final decisions. It's not up to the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day Nick Dutch to make up your mind for you. Hey, no way, Jose, under any circumstances. And nor should I be the one to have that responsibility. But what I can do is just be another part of your life. Maybe you're religious. Maybe you go to church or synagogue. You go to temple, or you go to mosque, or maybe you hang out in a circle with your friends, or maybe you don't even do that and you sit down and just read some philosophical books at home, or maybe you read science books or whatever. You take time out of your day to add something else to your life, just that one extra thing, which gives your life a bit of extra meaning, a bit of extra purpose, and helps you think a little bit more about something else which is outside of yourself, okay? And basically, you can come here, you can come to this channel, subscribe of course, because subscriptions are important, and then the end result is you'll be getting the updates. Now, some people also say to me, well, okay, I've had my question answered, I've had my reading with you. Why should I bother carrying on subscribing? Why should I bother carrying on seeing the readings that you do? Well, quite simply though, although I might not be doing a reading for you, okay, I might not be doing a reading personally for you yourself. Maybe there'll be something else in what I'll be saying, or what I'm talking about, or the other problems I'm addressing, which will help you in some way just to get another point of view, okay? I've had people leaving comments before saying, you did a reading for somebody else, and that actually had a meaning to my life and my life situation. And that's essentially part of the whole experience, alright? Now, what could you be doing right now? Alright, you've made a decision. The people who watch my tarot shows, they're good-looking, beautiful, intelligent, individual, free-thinking people, alright? And every single one of them has made this decision that right now, what they want to see today is Nick Dutch doing his tarot show, because, you know, there's some good reasons for that. And the reasons is that you get something out of it and you enjoy it, alright? It's an informed, intelligent decision to watch the stuff which I'm providing for you. Now, we're going to start cracking on with a few readings, and we're going to take it from there. I mean, you could be sitting down and watching a show on cable if you want, and watch people you've never met before in your entire life who are acting roles, okay, you know, about fictional characters, people who don't actually exist, in a situation which has never happened on the face of the planet, okay? And you can vanish into a fantasy world and you can think, yeah, that was so meaningful. But that's a fantasy world. What if we were to actually talk about the scripts of your life? Alright? Let's say this video right now that we're doing, you watching my face right now, was part of the narrative of your life. Part of the script, part of the story. Okay? And you are the key actor. And what we're doing today, okay, and for anyone who's actually left me a private message saying, this is my situation, will you please do a reading for me? Is that we are seeing you as being the character in the movie. It's not me. It's not Nick Dutch. It's you. Because you're the one who's asking the question. It's about your life situations, about your life problems, about your relationships, about your work. It's about the relationship you never had, the relationship you wanted to have but didn't get, the relationship you've got but you're struggling with. Or maybe it's issues with your friends, your family, maybe the boss is being a complete and utter silly bitty to you. Whatever. Alright, all these things are part of your life. Part of your life story. And you want to get like another point of view about that, well, basically that's why I'm here. And today we got a few people and we're going to go through some aspects of their life stories, alright? And you're going to see this being enacted, well, not actually enacted, because I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to talk to you and tell you about this stuff. Alright? And we're going to work through it, and it's going to add to the lives of these people. Don't miss out. Send me a private message through on this YouTube channel and be included in the next tarot show or one subsequent. Okay, we got a reading between Tishana and Aaron. Okay, I think we've had a look at this one before, but let's have a quick look and see what the reading says today. Shuffling like mad, my typical tarot reader shuffle. For those of you out there who are learning tarot, don't forget this method, okay? It's the way I do it. Shuffle once like that. Turn the cards. Shuffle again. Because that way around we get cards upright, we get cards reversed. We increase the quantity of meanings, the quantity of potential semantic energy, so to speak, which is just going through each and every single tarot reading. One of these days I'll actually do a video just purely upon the 8-card relationship reading, what it means, why I've chosen to do it that way, and basically what good it can actually do you and do your life in the future if you were to become a tarot reader yourself, or if you were to pick up a pack of cards and just experiment and practice and try and learn more about how to use this in a spiritual way, a divinatory way, and all the rest of that groovy stuff. Okay, straight from the get-go, yeah. You spoke to me in your little message, your little private message to me about having doubts. The energy between the two of you, okay, very 50-50. I think I can see why you've got doubts there. It's a feeling of ebb and flow. It's like little gaps carry on appearing. It's like you try and approach him, maybe he backs away. He stays backed away and then you back away expecting him to approach, alright? But then during the time between his approach and all the rest of that, there's this feeling of gap, this sense of absence, this sense of lack of progress. And that's the last thing you want. You don't want a feeling of lack of progress. You want to have actual progress so that you can sit back and you can think, yes, I'm there, okay? Now, this is still a relatively recent relationship. But on his side of things, baby. Okay, I'm looking at that in a very positive way. We don't have like the Ace of Cups there. We don't have, you know, the Lover's card with the Ace of Cups and with the moon going all beautiful, you know, the traditional kind of like nice way. But in this particular case, why do I think this is so good? Okay, the signs of the High Priestess is often talking about a sense of community, a sense of cohesion, holding people together, okay? It's also a lunar sign, so essentially it's a little like having the moon card there, but not quite, because there's a sense of moving on to another stage, okay? You're not at the initiation stage, you don't have the Magician card, you got the High Priestess. The High Priestess is moving on one more stage, so essentially you're finding out more as you move further forward. He's also finding out more about you. There's signs of a wisdom there and a growing quantity of wisdom. He's still interested in you, but he's still feeling his way, so to speak. I didn't mean that in a saucy way, but he's still feeling his way, if you get my drift. The Four of Coins there, stability, strength, power, determination, willpower. He's got something there which, through being in a connection with you, that makes him think this could work. Okay, so he's got that feeling of wanting to be there with you. He's got that sense of community and cohesion and friendship and feeling comfortable, but not quite there yet, but still with those romantic illusions. And he's also got this feeling that being there with you is going to be like strong and solid. And he's actually quite a strong, solid character in his own right as well. But you've still got this kind of like weird dynamic in the forces between the two of you. The two of coins, they're kind of like one way or the other, one way or the other. You don't quite know where it's going to go. So that's where it can get a bit irritating and frustrating, okay? But it's still early days, okay? This is normal. This is normal. Okay, you've still got to carry on feeling your way. It's not a negative message. It's just a question of perseverance and all the rest of that. On your side of the reading, let's go into this bit by bit. I'm sure you've seen these cards before because, you know, I've done a fair few tarot shows. The emotion's getting a bit intense for you. Even when he's not talking to you, there's a feeling of the love's there. Okay, that's looking very, very good. But also a feeling of not only slow progress, it's a question of you're not really being given enough information from him. Well, of course you're not, you know, because he's feeling anxious as well. But you've still got a very strong feeling of romantic connection with him. Okay, so you've got this like honey and gold type feelings for him, which is there, but you don't want to immerse yourself into it because, you know, you're trying to like protect your heart. You don't want to get hurt, but the feelings are just almost there. It's almost like you've got this like jug of heart energy, so to speak, and it's like filling up and filling up and filling up. And you're trying to hold it back from filling up too much in case it like overflows. That's the kind of feeling I've got there. You want to like hold it back, rein it in, not get too intense about this, because you're worried that these, you know, these signs of coming and going could actually lead to him actually moving away. And if that was to happen, that's where the pain could actually be, because you've invested your heart in too much. First bit of recommendation: try your hardest to just not to invest your heart in it too much until you feel more sure, because that's just safety. Alright, that's your safety valve. That's like the whistle on the steam train, okay? You want to, like, you know, pull the cord, let some steam out so you don't go racing off too fast and get derailed. That's just what it's all about, really. Release some of the pressure from yourself. It will happen in the good time. And talking about good times, signs for your short-term future. Remember, short-term future, mid-term future, long-term future, with the future progression within the 8-card relationship reading. Signs of fun, pleasure, and recreation. Also a sense of being careful, alright, because it might seem to start to go a bit too far. It's almost like you got that whistle or that, you know, pressure release kept shut because you want to feel the love, okay, you want to feel the love, but you're going to have the fun first. You're going to have the fun fair atmosphere, the pleasure, the recreation, dancing, that kind of thing. That's going to go on within the first 3-month period, which is great, alright. The reason that's great is you need something to make that bond nice and strong, alright, make it nice and powerful. And how can you do that? Through the same, you know, holy two things, okay? Shared experiences, communication, that's basically what it is, alright? Those are the main two things. But it's the way you're going to be doing it, okay? Maybe it's not a question of sitting down in the class, or maybe not studying together or having that type of experience, or that type of close-up and personal type thing. But maybe it's a question of more out there in the outside world. Not spending heaps of money. If we're worried about the financial expenditure, I'm not quite seeing it, but it's still got the atmosphere of something which feels recreational, almost as if it was a fun fair, okay? So that's what I'm seeing there, basically. Okay, the progression further forward. After you've got a bit more confidence in the whole connection and you're communicating okay and you're spending some time together, there's going to come a time when basically you might think like, is this actually working out according to plan? That'll be one of those heebie-jeebie moments when he's pulling back, I feel. But there's, you know, there's future progression there. There's opportunities. My whole message here is there is opportunities. But any of this fun, future part of the reading, cannot turn up unless you work hard with what you've got in the here and now, with what you know about his energy, what you know about your own energy, and the issues of the forces between the two of you. And this can be overcome because it all interconnects basically in tarot. You know, this can be overcome. This here can be overcome with this here. That's the message there. Alright, and then you may even end up with a midterm future which isn't like that, which is much more like that, okay? Not that sense of knowing what is the right thing to do but not being able to do it. Much more that sense of it's going to work out okay. We've got cup signs, we've got love, we've got peace, we've got tranquility. It's a male significator, he's taking more of the lead, and so you can just basically just relax a little. You can't backpedal too much. It's a relationship, and all relationships are 50-50. Remember that, all of you people out there, okay? And that's all of you people. I don't care whether you're a theist, an atheist, an agnostic. I don't care whether you're a believer or a disbeliever. Bottom line is, that's what relationships are about. It's 50-50. And there's always something inside you which says, no, it's time for him to do it, it's time for her to do it, it's time for them to do it. It's, you know, rather than thinking like, wait a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that person. And I'm going to say, we're going to sit down over a nice cup of coffee, and I know that we're going to have an argument. We are going to have an argument. I'm aware of that because we're both approaching the same thing from different directions. And when it's a disagreement, something's got to happen, something's got to give. Alright? But we're going to sit down, we can have a nice cup of coffee, and I'm going to say to this person, I think I'm doing a bit too much in this relationship, but I don't want to lose you. Could I possibly ask you, I mean, just between you and me, you know, I just need a bit more confidence from you. I think I've been trying to give you a lot of confidence, but maybe it's about time you gave me some confidence. Would that be okay? And there are some ways in which I feel more comfortable that you could do it, like calling me a little more, sending me the occasional text message. Alright, nice little gifts would help. Whatever it is for you, come on. You're an independent, intelligent individual. If you think really hard, you know where your needs are. Magdalena Goal, have I pronounced that correctly? Okay, you've got a lot of things going on. Obviously, the biggest thing on your mind is about the house swap and getting that done by September. Big scary thing, okay? So let's just have a quick look and see what's coming through. You haven't provided me with that much in the way of detail for the rest of your questions, and that's a bit difficult. So what I'll do is I'll just do a general reading, but first and foremost I'll focus purely and simply on this house swap issue, because that's basically like the biggest, oh my god, is it going to happen, it's going to happen. Well, basically, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And all you can do is the best you can in here and now to make sure you can try and make it happen. Alright? So saying the right things, doing the right things, all that kind of jazz. Let's have a quick look. Chronological spread, we're looking for some nice, strong, stable signs of change and progress. And here we go. Okay. It's a 6-card reading. And these, I feel, are the signs you're after. Now, all the signs often talk about the physical world, the material world. They talk about something of the solid nature, okay? Now, by themselves and in their own respect, they don't actually help you all that much. You know, it's a question of, okay, so I've got some stability, so I've got enough money in my pocket to be able to go and buy a meal, or put a couple of pounds in the electric meter. Okay, that's stability. Now, what else is going to happen? Come on, come on! By itself, it means absolutely nothing, okay? In this particular context, in other contexts, it means other things, but essentially with great signs of change, which are immediately after it, it actually adds an extra bit of message associated with the whole thing, with the whole reading itself. You are after change. Change has come, and change will come to you. Now, this sign here, okay, this is about the 4 to 5 month period down the line, okay? It's not immediately. Because those two cards, they're towards the end of the 6-month period. You're asking about September time. I'm looking over the next sort of like 6-month period. Time frames are approximate in a tarot reading, okay? Don't go straight to your calendar with a little red pen and do a circle around that one particular date, okay? It doesn't quite work just like that. It's like a progression of energies or a progression in the storyline, progression in the narrative, okay? It's not a question of hard and fast precision. If you're a structural engineer, okay, would you actually get out all your measuring apparatus and your working drawings, or would you call me? Okay, get that right. Okay, precise measurements require a different technology than what you've got here. This is your contemplative method, and the signs we got essentially for your short-term future, which is essentially the first 4 signs. The signs relating to a bit of struggle, but working hard to try and bring about results. But that's also very mercurial, also almost as if there's a sense of trying to learn something new. If you were doing any academics, I would say that's talking about academic success, but there's also a sense of there being struggle associated with it. You also inquired about the workplace. What is happening there? Maybe the other message essentially here could be that of willpower and determination to try and achieve certain goals. But why would that all of a sudden be followed by a sense of pleasure, luxury, joy? And also there's a bit of a wealth message there. That's where the gold colors come into it, okay? Your gold colors coming up twice. You did mention wealth associated with this. So something interesting is happening for you within the next 2 to 3 months at the very, very outside, associated with work and with a sense of work progress. Alright, I'm not going to turn around to you and say, it's a whopping great promotion, okay? Everything's, you know, managing director of the whole wide world. Yeah! No way am I going to say that. But what I am going to say is something good is happening, moving you in the right direction, okay? That's what it's all about. Alright, so something is great happening. Alright, once again, don't draw that circle on your calendar, okay? It's going to happen. The progression is going to occur. But remember, these signs are also talking about hard work being done in another way, which is willpower and determination, possibly even when you're feeling bad about something, but also having that financial goal in front of you and learning as you go. If there's signs relating to learning, maybe there's some way in which you're not quite doing it right, you're not quite on the mark. Okay, I'm not going to turn around to you and say you're sinful or anything, but there's something about this which says you're not quite there yet, okay, in terms of the way you're thinking about the task at hand. Then we got a bit of a plateau, a bit of a calming down. These signs don't mean ruin, okay? It's a card labeled as ruin. Don't know whether you can see that there. Maybe you can if I bring it up close and personal to the camera, okay? It's a good old-fashioned Ten of Swords. It's also a sign of passion and determination. You haven't been doing all that well, I feel. You haven't been doing all that well at all. It feels like to me you've been held down or held back, a sense of restriction, and now you've got to fight to get what you require. I often talk in my readings about the dethroned sovereign message, namely you knew that you could have had this like a long time ago. But in your particular case, I think there's been a lot of awakening. So I think that you're actually able to look back with perspective and to be able to say, maybe I shouldn't have had what I'm going to have in the past. Maybe I wasn't ready. Maybe I had a few other ways to grow. And I think you've actually got that wisdom there, which I don't think you had before. And I think it's really starting to dawn on you. There's a few more serious life learning things which is going to come your way. And that's essentially what we got here, the Eight of Wands. And the message there is about breaking things down and getting a bit of perspective. It's like you're going to say or do something that's going to have a bit of an impact upon you. Okay, it's not going to affect your life. It's not going to affect your earning potential, your relationship life, or anything like that. But it is something you're going to say that's going to make you think, oh my word, now I've highlighted something else I need to work on. And I think that's going to be really, really helpful. And those signs there about learning and about what you'll be learning about is happening before your house swap. Think about that. You're moving into a brand new life, a brand new house. You've got to learn to leave the baggage behind. And this short-term, mid-term, future period is all about how you do that. Okay? And how you get that right in your mind so you can start thinking in a straight line, you can calm down, the anxiety starts moving away, you know, all those little fidgety movements you do, they start going away slowly but surely, and you start becoming much more of a centered, focused, you know, middle pillar, like chakra individual, right? Totally balanced. Well, or at least moving in that direction. None of us are totally balanced. Man, I love the way that reading worked out, because that was supposed to be just a chronological reading. Okay, that was supposed to be just a chronological reading. But I carry on getting stuff happening up here, which made me think, no, you're going to turn that into the general reading. You're going to make something happen there, and you're basically going to make the customer or the viewer feel really, really good about themselves and show them that there is some kind of method in all this madness which is out. That's why it turned into this amazingly intricate, really intricate tarot reading. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. On with the next one. Tiona and Logan. You want to make sure it's all working out okay because you want him to move closer and all the rest of that cool stuff. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, we've had one relationship reading today, the 8-card spread. We've had one chronological spread. Okay, now today we're going to do another 8-card relationship reading. It is the most popular one I've got. I can vary it in lots of different ways. I'll tell you the truth. There was one time, okay, I did a party event, okay. It was like, I do this as party entertainment. I'm hired to go out to parties all around my local area, okay. And I did this, and this lady come up and she was looking a bit down in the dumps, and she says, can you do a reading for me? She says, yeah, I'd love to. She says, about relationship. And I thought, yep, another relationship question. I love them. And she said, well, this one's a bit different. And I says, well, in what way is it a bit different? And she says, there are 7 people involved. Fortunately, my 8-card relationship reading is so versatile that I can actually adjust it to take into account each and every single individual that was in the whole situation, okay? Fortunately, this client came at the end of the party. She paid me for the overtime, so basically it was okay for me, and we could take a bit of time just to go through it all bit by bit. Yes, I do this work for a living. It's a job. And don't let anybody sit there and tell you that this is an easy job, basically, because, man, the quantity of pressure that I'm under, the quantity of work I have to do, and the way it's all got to work out, this really can be difficult for me. But never mind. Let's go through this bit by bit, stage by stage. Okay. Right, the energies on his side of things. Quite simply, lovely. Now, the Chariot itself, okay, it's upside down. That doesn't always come out good. He's still going through a bit of a struggle, but Chariot signs are also talking about travel and also those of movement. but I think he can be a bit of an arrogant individual at times. He can try and take the upper hand. I think that's something that he himself is working on, because I don't think he's actually been in a relationship of the right quality whereby you can become mutual, you can become accepting, you can work out where your roles are, you can settle into them, okay? I think he's only been in conflict situations before, but the willingness to think about moving is there, okay? So that's basically what we got on his side of the reading. Now, essentially for the forces between the two of you, and this is where it's getting really rather intriguing. Remember I spoke about the Two of Cups before? Was it the Two of Cups I spoke about before? Either way, it's appeared here. It's the energy of two people in love. Okay, this is another variety of early stage in a relationship kind of like situation, okay? Because the Two of Cups is different from the One of Cups. It's not that feeling of singularity. It's that more like the honeymoon period. You've been together for a little while, you've got a great bond going, you're both feeling emotionally good, you want a feeling to carry on forever, a bit like when you've been to a party and you don't want it to end, okay? But, you know, this is the way you are at the moment. But this love, okay, this style of love always changes. Okay, but that's actually a good thing, so don't worry about that. Now, on your side of things, this I've got some concerns about, okay, because we got signs of worry about interference or concerns about interference, and a feeling that, you know, you might possibly be defeated. You've had a few challenges already with this relationship, which I think you feel. I think that you feel some of the difficulties which have gone on in the past with this particular relationship situation, and I think that you internalized a bit too much. Okay, but I would say just try and put that aside. I know you got the love there, you got the cup signs, that's beautiful. On his side of things, you know, you got all the right intentions there, but he's still trying to like work out where his role really is. And once you move together, because I feel that could be coming down the line for you soon as well. Okay, not immediately, later on this year, early part of next year. Can't tell you precisely when, but essentially it's going to be good. So maybe it's going to move towards you, maybe rent a place not too far away from you, and then things are going to move further forward. Is he from another state or another country or another county, or is there some kind of like, you know, it's quite big at the moment. Is it like you're communicating over the internet, mainly internet and telephone, when you're not seeing each other enough face to face? Is that part of the problem as well? Is it? I don't know. Obviously I don't know. It just sort of like popped up there, and I felt that I just had to say it. You know, it happens like that once in a while. Okay, progression in your future. Here we go. Here we go. Now the signs we got here, pretty fascinating. Your short-term and your mid-term future. We're going to have a look at that next, okay? Short-term future, trying to keep it focused, trying to keep it calm. But I would say be concerned there, because essentially you don't want to just focus in on the relationship to the expense of your working life, paying your bills, looking after yourself, getting yourself strong in that respect as well. And I feel maybe you've got a tendency to do that once in a while. It's not a bad thing to do if the relationship has got like serious issues going on. But in this particular case, I don't think you've got that. Alright, you need to carry on working on the bond that you've got. But there's also the awareness of change. The awareness of change is not a bad thing. The awareness of change is good. Okay? And for your longer term future, we got, you know, the victory signs coming in your midterm, later on down the line, summertime, autumn time, or fall time if you're American, for this particular relationship and how it's going to actually work out. So that's not looking too bad. Very long term future, tremendous signs of change. But change based upon what? Change based upon those forces in between the two of you. That good old-fashioned sense of loving energy, that's basically what you need to try and start the ball rolling. God gave us that soulmate feeling so we could start building a bond. Use it. Then that feeling goes away, a bit like a creature getting out of its chrysalis and developing its adult wings so it can go and fly and be free. Okay? It feels different, but you're not cushioned by the chrysalis of that earliest stage in the relationship feeling, okay? You're not in that chrysalis, you're not in the womb anymore, okay? You're in the real relationship, and if you work hard at that with dedication, that becomes your life partner connection. And that's basically what everybody is really after, okay? That's what everyone's after. They always say, like, is he my soulmate, is she my soulmate? It isn't like that. Because responsibility is love. Responsibility is love. And it's hard. I'm telling you, man, it's so hard. But it's so doable as well. Apricus 30, how the heck's it going? Don't worry, we always make mistakes in our careers, you know. Maybe it's the advice we get, or maybe we start becoming too greedy, or maybe we get off whack one way or another. We all do it. I've been there before myself. I couldn't, you know, in one job I had, I just couldn't like sit down and smell the coffee, you know. I couldn't just adjust to it and all the rest of that. And I ended up doing something else, then going back to what I thought was right. And of course, what I thought was right is what I'm doing now. And you know what? I'm having a good time now because I'm in my element. I know what I am. I know who I am. You know, we have to make mistakes to make sure we can learn. But if we hadn't made the mistakes, then we wouldn't be able to see the world from another point of view. Alright, that's what it's all about. You make mistakes in your career, you start doing jobs that you find pretty hard or just aren't right for you, or just end up boring you, pissless, like you got all the money in the world but you're not feeling fulfilled. Well, you know, you can make a change. Now, you're after a change. Let's see if a change is coming in your workplace. You also asked about love as well. We'll go back to the old chronological spread and we'll just see basically what kind of message is coming through for Nick Dutch today. Here we go. One more time into the breach, dear friends. Okay, we got a lot of signs for your current position. Okay, a lot of signs. Okay. Feeling of darkness, misery, failure, depression, anxiety. Coming out there nice and strong with a 7 of coins, but it's reversed. Now that is good, because that's what you're feeling, but you're getting yourself out. The old dethroned sovereign message, you're getting yourself back to where you should be. Alright, but there's still a sense of depression, a sense of like not quite being there, a sense of conflict around you. People aren't quite reacting to you the way that you want them to, or indeed the way they should be. You've got a lot of very under-evolved people around you, and I think that's part of the problem. And you've been being cautious because you've been looking after precisely, you know, the survival aspect and the rest of it. Being cautious about that is good because survival is your top priority. We do all this life stuff so that we can survive, okay? We work for a living so that we can survive, all the rest of that, survive. But once in a while, survival is not quite good enough, and we've got to be aware of that, and we've got to start making other changes. And that's what we've got here. Okay, 2 separate messages with the sun and the moon. Now, why would the sun and the moon be coming out together, okay? Well, the moon has lent its name to a wide variety of different things, including the word occult, meaning hidden. And it was hidden for you as to precisely what your true nature was, what your true nature is, and where you want your life to go. There's a sense of wisdom and inspiration there, and essentially after all of this like dark and cautious period, you know, you've got to start getting some light into it. And the first bit of light is the realization, which is what you're going through right now, that there's something else that you should be doing. And it's finally finished off with the Sun card. Now in this particular case, alright, the Sun card is talking about both money, alright, both money as well as fulfillment. Now I don't know what work you've been doing, but it's been preparing you for something. So that when you, I mean, you said you were after a teacher job, when you're able to go back into the classroom, you'll be able to take what you've learned and boom, shove it right there in front of your pupils and be able to say, this is where I've come from, this is what I've done. You're going to be able to do something that you haven't been able to do before, and you wouldn't have been able to do if you hadn't gone through everything you've been through. Alright, try and see this really crap job that you've had as being teacher training. Teacher training of a style and a type that they'll never teach you in college. And as a result of that, you're going to be bigger, brighter, better, and stronger. And I don't think you've forgotten everything you've learned previously. Alright? Slight feeling of resentment though, and that's coming in as well. I would say don't let that get the better of you. We often have that bubbling under the surface. And that's why we try and get our spirituality in place. Okay, the spirituality comes into place, and it becomes slightly less likely that the negatives from deep down inside starts affecting the positives that we're trying to create for ourselves in the real world. This is all about empowerment, really. Okay? All about empowerment. Some people laugh at me because I go to church. Well, hey, I'm telling you the truth. Every time I leave after a service, every time I leave, I feel better, I feel brighter, I feel bigger. It's like I can feel my aura extending around my body by about 10 foot, and I feel like, wow, okay? It's just an hour and a half spent in the church, but that's what it does for me. And I come back and I just like carry on with my life. I'm smiling with my friends and my family. I'm doing much better work on the phone with my customers, and it does me good, okay? So essentially find where your spirituality is and carry it through into the classroom. You don't have to tell all those kids about what you're doing, but the, you know, the buzz, the zest, the spirit, so to speak, bring that with you. Marsanian, is that the right way of pronouncing it? Never mind, I'm always saying that now, but what the heck? Alright, you found someone, you like them, you've been talking for a little while, you want to take the next big step. Yeah. So basically what we're looking at for today is signs relating to passion, power, togetherness, unity. Yeah. Let's see what's coming through for you. Well, hey, all I can do is tell you what I can see, or what's coming through here, what's coming through on the cards here, and all the rest of that. And all these moments when I'm just sitting here talking to you, you know, you might just think I'm filling in time. Well, I am filling in time. I'm filling in time whilst I'm doing the shuffling. Because I want the whole reading to be random. I want it to be honest, true, direct, clear-cut. And so that you basically get what you know, the good, honest tarot reading today. Let's have a quick look for you. Again, going back to the 8-card relationship reading. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Well, I've dealt out the first 5. Not the full 8, but the first 5. You picked a right one there. A right one who is ready and willing, has spent a lot of their time being in control of their life, but now wants to get someone else to do it. That's why it's reversed. But this is still an individual who will maintain their willpower and determination. This is not the kind of person who, if hypothetically you were to settle down with them, that they will just spend all their time in the kitchen and doing the cleaning. This is someone who's got a desire to actually make a mark in the world. And that's one of the interesting messages coming out here. They've already got feelings for you. Do ask them out. This is definitely the right time. Signs of passion in the forces between the two of you. Looking very good, looking very interesting. Sense of, ooh. But she's looking for you. She's looking for you. To take the lead. And make it happen. Okay? Signs of things on your side of things. Awareness is going to be hard work, sense of satisfaction with this individual, but it's, although we've got both earth and water signs, I'm looking at this and I'm getting an air feeling. Your relationship is basically on the intellectual level. You like each other, you agree with each other, you know, you got some things in common. Okay, that's good, that's great. Having things in common, great, nice. But what about the other bit? Okay, but the fact we got like 10 of Cups there, talking about satisfaction, talking about fullness, wholeness, suggests that this is something which could actually work very nicely. But the anxiety you've got here is about going through the process of making it work. Because you're holding back from putting in the work. Don't. Was that a bit too passionate of me? Well, never mind. Okay, progression, short term, mid term and long term. I'm showing you this the way it's come out for me. Okay, there we go. Once again, in another reading, despite the fact I've been shuffling like a lunatic. And I mean like I've been going at it like crazy. But all of a sudden, we get the same thing. Get the Wheel of Fortune, short term, future, upright. You're going to go out, you're going to have a great time. Progressing on from there, nothing negative at all. You're going to start finding out more about a mid-term future a couple of months down the line. But essentially, the long-term future is very romantic indeed. But as I said before, that long-term future won't happen unless you pay attention to the here and now part of the reading. And you think about making the long-term future occur. That's all. Okay? But essentially, man, just be polite, be civilized, use all your social skills. Okay, because without social skills, when you're dealing with people socially, life's a bit sort of like pants, really. Okay, so start doing what you have to do. Irene66 UK, don't have to apologize, okay? If you want to send through another question, do it. Alright, that's not a problem. I want to have the backlog there. I want to have more and more readings coming through so that basically every single time I log on once a week to do the tarot show, I've got tarot readings to do. That's what I want. So essentially, yes, you can make another request. Alright? Or if I haven't answered the question that you put, let's say you gave me like 5 questions and I answered 2 of them for you in the video, then by all means, re-ask the next questions. Do it, by all means. And send them through again by private message on this YouTube channel, Nick Dutch Tarot, okay? And I'll be more than happy to have you added to the roster, and we'll see where we can go from there. Shuffling as before. Okay, job change. Is it a good move? Is it a good thing? Okay. Yep. Signs of change. 2 of Coins coming out earlier on. We had that at the beginning of the tarot show, Again, I've been shuffling like a lunatic. Don't be concerned that repeated signs are coming through. That's what happens. If you carry on shuffling, and you do more spreads, they come out, okay? Sometimes we've had some shows we've had no repeated cards whatsoever. Sometimes we've had shows which they come through left, right, and center. Same ones. Some people would say it's like the phases of the moon, or like the planets, or the fates, or, you know, karma, or... I don't know. The fact of the matter is, it's come out. So that change, short-ish term future, that is a good plan. Now there's a different message associated with that, because we've got signs relating to fire here, fire and the intelligence. When we got the Prince of Wands there, that's the Archangel Michael sign, that's the signs of victory, pushing evil aside. So it is right for you to try and make this change happen, okay? But it will feel like a bit of a wrench. But you've got to be the one who keeps in control here. You've got to be the one who keeps in control, and you must remember that, okay? Also, more signs of hard work being done, and also fear and trepidation about that in this particular case, because those signs are reversed in this particular reading, and that's the way it's interacting with the rest of the spread. Yeah, it's difficult for you. If I was the one who was in a position of authority to be able to make up your mind for you, I would say do it. But I'm not the one who's in a position of authority to make up your mind for you. You are. Don't forget it. Ever. And that's for all of you people out there, okay? You can ask me questions, I can give you answers. But you reserve the right to disagree, because funnily enough, I myself am Nick Dutch. I am not Jesus Christ. Yep. There's no sort of like, you know, thorny marks around there. No blood pouring from my hands. You know, I'm not Jesus Christ, and I've never walked on water. Hey, Sheikah, studying medicine, wants to make sure she can make it. Make the grade. Doesn't think she's doing too well. Academically speaking. It's hard. And yeah, it is hard. Once you go through this stage, it could get easier. You got to get through this stage first. Let's have a quick look. Air signs is what we're looking for, and air signs is what we got. The Prince of Swords, again, hard work being done, a sense of determination, willpower, drive, trying to get the right focus right, defeating the opposition, trying to almost beat yourself into submission so that you can carry on doing it, forcing yourself ahead. That's good, but don't stress yourself out too much, or try your hardest not to stress yourself out. Give yourself structure, because I feel you're taking that structure away as you're piling the stress on you. Deal with today what you can deal with today, and then tomorrow you deal with what you can deal with tomorrow. Okay? But there's also a sense of there being celebration, happiness, getting through to another level, more signs relating to victory in this particular case, leading to a career of stability. Okay? I think you're going to make it. I really do think you're going to make it. And I would say just carry on working at it, because I have every single faith in you, and I believe that you are capable of putting in the hours and doing as much as you can on each and every single day, and putting aside other luxuries and other forms of fun so that you can get to where you need to go. And that's what's really important. Alright, now that's the last reading we've got for today. Don't forget, I am available morning times, US time. Okay, if you live in the United States of America, I'm available in your mornings, I'm available in your small hours sometimes, okay? But that's when you can catch me. I do the early shift, your time, because I live in the UK. There's a whole, like, time zone thing, you know. The man upstairs didn't create a flat earth. If he had, it would be much easier to create a round earth, so, you know, we've all got the time zone thing, which is a real pain, but never mind. I'm available morning times, your time. For those of you in the UK who want to catch me on kuma.co.uk, you can. But I'm also available in the mornings, okay? Everybody else out there, I'm always available for email readings. You can catch me on live. I mean, you can interact with me for live readings in many different ways. There's internet chat, there's email, there's telephone, okay? Those are the main ways, alright? So, and I am just like available. I'm on liveperson.com, I'm on keen.com, I'm on keen.co.uk. For those in the UK, I'm available on Kumar. I do email readings on Kumar as well. And also for those in the UK, I occasionally do a bit of SMS tarot readings as well. So if you're interested in that, have a quick look on the Kumar site. And if I'm logged on that day, you'll be able to catch me. Alright. So that's all for the moment. I bid you good fortune. God bless. Carry on being the producer, the director, the editor of the movie which is your life. Be proud of it. And I look forward to see you next time on The Tarot Show. God bless.